Number 3 is Stranger Things. It's Stranger Things. So look, I'm not a Stranger Things fan. The thing with Stranger Things is it's just too many inconsistencies. All of these things, all of those things is tonally consistent. But this show doesn't deserve Winona Ryder. But anytime the drama comes in, it's so hard to buy because, the story, the basic story of Stranger Things, it bothers me. It's just too inconsistent. The monsters in here is just too inconsistent for me. But the Duffer Brothers got one of the biggest shows out. Stranger Things 3 is just a really weird way of saying Stranger Things Season 3. But that's probably for a good reason. This thing would be a lot better off as a movie. You can kind of see a lot of fluff in here, a lot of character arcs that doesn't contribute to anything, but that kind of was the charm initially. But this time, after knowing all of the characters, it just kind of dragged things down. I really liked the writing on this season as far as dialogue. I thought that they did a lot more with their dialogue, and they did a lot more to get comedy out of their dialogue. That kind of helped them with the editing as well. The editing was a lot better on this season. I thought that they did a lot of cool things with their transitions, helping their story flow a lot better than the other ones, getting rid of a lot of the melodrama that would often bog it down. The strength of this show is its characters, but not just its characters, this gang of characters. The core characters in this show, Mike, Will, Luke, and Dustin, are the heart of this show. Along with 11, played by Millie Brown, those are really the core that you really root for. They get them supporting characters, but that's all they do. They just support. They never lend anything in themselves. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. This time, they split the gang up and gave them their own adventures with new characters. I thought that this was a good move. I thought this was worth the risk. A lot of people wanted to see their favorite duos from the last season continue on with that. But they gave us new duos. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it doesn't. The show took a lot of risk, man. I can't really knock it, honestly. Dustin was given a new partner in crime. Steve was given a new partner in crime. Lucas and Mike become a team of their own in their battle with love or some shit. And we get to see a lot more of Joyce and Jim working together. I thought that this made this show very almost good. And that's saying something for me. Again, you saw the beginning. I'm an avid Stranger Things hater. I couldn't hate this season. Couldn't love it, but I couldn't hate it. I also like the music soundtrack this time. With the improved editing, the soundtrack made a lot more sense this time as they would constantly use it to play into the story. Stranger Things is getting in this strange territory where every season they gotta find a way to make it original in itself while still being tied to this strange world that this universe is. This thing was kind of a lot different than anything we've seen in previous Stranger Things season. I mean, that's what I'm most disappointed in. As an avid moviegoer, when the show is this big, I'm always hoping maybe it'd be worth the hype. They could have did that if they brought us more into the Upside Down. Help us understand it. Help us understand the bad guys' motivation because they're very powerful. There's nothing they can really do to avoid them, so why not understand them? And that will help us relate to our characters better. But we were never given that. I honestly think Stranger Things could work if they just made it 3 to 4 episodes. But nope. Money gotta be made. The Mind Flayer was really weird, man. Like, last season, they kind of let us in on how the Mind Flayer works, but this season, holy shit, they stepped the thing all the way up. It's like, well, I wasn't expecting all this. When could the Mind Flayer do all of this shit? We all know that 11 is one of the famous Deus Ex Machinas in Hollywood. This time, they didn't use her this way. They kind of, minimized her. But don't worry. She still gets her Deus Ex Machina on. Honestly, this ending was common sense, but my problem is that it was trying to give some sense of closure without giving any closure. Because, gotta make season 4s. I would have been fine with an actual ending, but we all know we didn't get it. Another problem I got with this ending is just feel like too little too late. It's like, okay, what's this gonna solve? Overall, I'll be honest, I don't know how much better this is than season 1. I can tell you for sure that it's better than season 2, but is it that great? It's still pretty average. This thing has a different kind of value with America. I realize that. I accept that. I'm always on the outside looking in being critical of the show. Like I'm critical of a lot of shows. But this season, I can't be critical. I can't be anything. All I can be is kind of disinterested, kind of neutral. It's like, all right, that was cool, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. But hey, I'm just going to end up on an island again. It's kind of how my life works. So, the critics got this thing sitting pretty at a 90%, while the audience is right in step at an 87%. Gonna have to decide with the audience on this one. I get this season more like a 78%. There's so many questions. Wasn't a complete story. Acting was inconsistent across the board as a lot of these actors seem like they're ready to just move on to greener pastures. More inconsistencies with the cartoonish bad guys in here and a pump fake of an ending. Stranger Things is still one of the most overrated shows to me, but fuck it. Seems like a comfortable hill.